this is a very important question. So, I would think about it along three axes. Okay, so let's in terms of complexity, competence, and cost. So what do I mean by that? So let's talk about complexity. So in terms of complexity, if you were to make, let's say, silicon-based CMOS circuits at the 7 nanometer node, which is extremely hard to do, and which many companies world over are struggling to do, and few of them, of course, do it. Right? TSMC does it, for example. So this is probably the highest amount of complexity that you can actually make in any kind of semiconductor manufacturing process. Right? And okay, so now let's slide down all the way to the other end of the scale, right? So let's take a look at if you can make polysilicon, which is used in solar cells. Right?
Yeah.
So at this stage, it's a commodity product, which many people can make, right? And then you are competing on cost at the end of the day, right? So that's at the very other end of the scale, right? So which is very important, especially given the offtake in terms of solar cells world over. But it's a commodity product as far as semiconductor manufacturing is concerned, right? And gallium nitride would be some kind of a sweet spot. It's not as complex as making, the cutting edge silicon CMOS circuits, but it's not a commodity in the sense that you do need some kind of specialized expertise. So it could be somewhere in the middle of the scale, which is a very nice place to be. So the other thing is, let's talk about competence. So in terms of competence, gallium nitride is up and coming technology, and people have been working with it in terms of making LEDs, etc. And even in India itself, we have a very strong research base in gallium nitride. So there are many research groups in ISC, in IIT Bombay, in IIT Madras, IIT Delhi, IIT Kanpur, and many other places. So there is already an established research base India-wide as well as worldwide, of course, working on gallium nitride. Right. So we do have the competence, and more importantly, there is an ecosystem, a very strong design ecosystem in India for radio frequency electronics and for power electronics. So which means that there is a natural fit in terms of offtake of components, right? Which can be designed into systems and circuits, right? Which is what you want at the end of the day. So in that sense, it's a pretty nice place to be in, right? Gallium nitride is a nice place to work on. And in terms of cost, so if you talk about the cost of putting up a silicon fab, we've all heard this number, right? So it's a few $1 billion, right? And whereas gallium nitride, you can actually put up a meaningfully sized fab for maybe $200 to $400 million or so. Right? So you could put up 5 or 6 gallium nitride fabs for the same cost as a silicon CMOS, cutting edge silicon CMOS. Right? And this is also important because if you do have limited resources, then it's a question of where do you choose to allocate them. And gallium nitride might be, in view of the impact that gallium nitride is going to have over the next 20 years, and the fact that it's, we do have some natural advantages in working with this technology here, it might not be such a bad idea to actually spend the money and set up gallium nitride based fabs.